This was the assessment. So I'm starting with study because I was studying right from the get-go, right? I wasn't planning or doing, it was studying what the results were of just giving the course as it was, right? So this is what the students were given. And I want to just show you, like, this is it, okay? This is a course about web design, and they had been doing HTML projects, they've been doing CSS projects, they've been using a textbook very heavily. There wasn't anything about global or cultural competencies in the course whatsoever, okay, until now. Now all of a sudden we're saying, hey, by the way, we want you to think from a global and cultural perspective, and we want you to be able to answer these questions. And I can't even, like, this is like intense, right? Like, I'm looking at these questions, how would you describe a cultural system, both yours personally and others that may be impacted? And then I have to remember, well, what was it impacted by? It was impacted by cultural or global engagement in my final website project. So as right from the get-go, and this is an online course, okay? So right from the get-go, I'm like, heck, you know, like, I can't even do this. And so I just was kind of like, meh. I mean, I'll show you the results, but like, I felt bad. I felt bad assessing with the rubric that I was given because I had no impact on their learning. It was not me. You know, I'm giving them a bunch of questions and seeing, can you figure it out? And that's not, I don't know. So I feel horrible just making it like right from the get-go, but that was me coming into this perspective being like, what the heck? Okay, so let's try to move on. Oh no. Okay, it's a PC and I'm trying to use the. I'll be your man. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. All right, so here we go. So this was, turns out you can turn on the Learning Mastery Gradebook after the fact, and you can re-conclude your students. So here is what I saw, and this is just like one quick class, right? And what's really interesting is that this is me being lenient. You know, you get to that point where you're just like, how would they even know? I'm going to have to find the bare minimum and give them a little bit of credit here. And so I'll be honest about that, right? But we see that it's, yeah, are they competent? Yeah, but are they really? You know, if I don't know, honestly. Like, so that was where I was at. And I'll tell you that depending on the person, it was about what their backgrounds were. So really what I was assessing in this class was, what did the students come in with? It was like a pre-assessment. But that's not what my class is designed for. So let's figure out what the course competencies were. So I had to come up with.
Just click the down arrow.
What?
Down arrow.
Down arrow, okay. On the Mac or the PC? Okay.
There you go.
Cool. So what I needed to do was I had to figure out the learning goals. So I took those questions because those questions were awesome, right? And I was like, this is great. This is going to really help me figure out what I need to be teaching them or what learning activities that they can get to this. But it's not even a learning goal in itself. So I had to figure out what that was. So what I found, there's my big So this is what I decided to do. I decided to go back to the basics, right? I took my course competency, which I found one. And this is why we chose global and cultural competency in web design. Because we have this awesome course competency that says, explain how the concepts of culture, ethics, security, and privacy relate to the internet. Cool, that's perfect, right? And that definitely, I mean, that's not aligned with the rubric. And this is linked, but sorry, you can see the rubric. And then, so what did I do? I had a conversation with ChatGPT, and I want to instantly just show you that, because I want you guys to join me in this conversation. And I want you to see that you can. Oh no, what happened?
Do you need to click on that link?
It's a QR.
Click on your link.
Is that what I do?
Well, there's a slide that has a QR code somewhere. This one.
I'm gonna refresh.
So it is there.
Oh, okay, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so
How do I get
if you
to
guys
it?
want, use your devices
Oh, there we go.
and you should, I hope this works. You should be able to do that. I was battling with Bitly right before. Bitly apparently is no longer acceptable in our computer system. For those of you that are online, if you have this presentation, do they?
They can see it,
Okay.
so they should be able to do it also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Continue this
Brian's
conversation.
I don't know how it works with,
Download the app, right?
do you have to download the app?
Mine says
It's
continue this
recommending it.
conversation.
Lane said it worked.
Yeah, mine shows that.
Okay.
but I have to log into ChatGPT.
I don't think you have to
I
have
would
it.
like to create a learning goal.
It's just a browser tool. I do have the app.
Along with my first.
You know what app I have, you guys? I no longer will say, let me Google that for you, ever, okay? I would just search the internet, okay? I'm gonna be very diverse, non-vendor specific. Yeah. Because I've started using Bing, and I'll just let you know that, because have you looked at Bing search engine lately? Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I'll have to show you guys, because it's really amazing. If you just go to the Bing search engine and you look up like, what are spreadsheets or something, it gave me a slideshow presentation at the top. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Anyways, so this is my conversation with ChatGPT. Let me go to it with you. I hope.
Press escape. Hopefully, are you gonna open
Okay,
another?
I have to be on the right screen, huh? Oops.
Sorry, this is
Oh, it's okay. I get it.
set up here. There we go. Do you want a new browser, a new tab?
Well, I'll go here and then I'll plug that.
Good?
Yep.
Okay.
Good. Good. So first of all, how cool is it that I can actually share this, right, with you? And you can start having the conversation too. And you could just branch off from my conversation and you could just keep going with it. So I've kind of set the stage for you. I'd like to create a learning goal that will align with my first 3 course competencies. I want to talk to you about that real quick. ChatGPT knows me. I have programmed it to say what my course competencies are, what I teach. I even gave it the 4 C's. I gave it the program outcomes. Like I have like dumped a whole bunch of stuff in there, basically profiled myself for it so that then I talked about universal design for learning. So it'll actually tell me like, and this relates to universal, for learning guideline, da, 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 da. So it's really cool because, I mean, I don't know if I could do it by myself, honestly. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a lot. I could take years doing it by myself. The other tool I've used, as I'm just kind of talking about the tool part of it, Khan Academy now has Comingo. You guys heard of Comingo? I needed to have a slide about resources, and I'm sorry that I don't. But we've got Comingo, and I now like donate to them $4 a month, and I get access to it for free. And it's pretty amazing. And it is designed specifically for teachers. So it talks to you about, oh, let me work out this rubric with you. Let me work out these learning objectives with you. So I can show you that as well. All right, so what did I do here? I went through and perfect. I'm just gonna do Q&A like right away. I don't even think, like I'm gonna show you really quick what we did, what me and ChatGPT talked about. So we talked about creating learning goals, right? Aligned with the first 3 course competencies, so I didn't even have to tell them I haven't figured out what, I think I call them chatty or something. Global learning encompasses knowledge. I gave them that, what global learning is. And then I even talked about the 5 rubric points, right? For the 5 competencies. And I gave them all of that. And then look at what it did. it gave me a learning goal, and it gave me a 3-piece learning goal. I'm kidding. It would take me a really long time to do this, you guys, like seriously. And 3-piece learning goal, knowledge. Students will be able to analyze cultural systems, boom, influence. Students will evaluate the impact of contemporary and past events, perspectives, or cultures on intercultural relationships, blah, 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 in the context of web development and the internet, right? And then self-awareness. How cool is that? So it talks about what I'm doing, how I can do it. It's promoting a broader understanding of how the internet and the web development relates to cultural and global context. That's what I wanted to do with the assessment, right? But I didn't have it articulated in the first place. And so now that I have some articulations, I can kind of go from there. And first of all, I can actually keep revising it, right? I can tell it, you did a bad job at that. You need to change it. Okay, so help me out with this. Revise the learning goal. How about this one? How can you provide learning activities for students? And then I don't even have to have good English. It's so cool. I can like just kind of fragment my way through it, and it helps. And it talks about how can I do this, right? How can I make sure that I have learning activities? It gives me all these awesome learning activities. Cultural case studies, we all know that's the best practice, right? We all know that, yeah, we should totally do that in all of our classes. Website reviews, I'd never thought about cultural website reviews. Oh, duh, right? Like, that's cool. But I'm not thinking along these. It's so cool. Cross-cultural web project, guest speaker, and it gives me this immense list of things that it would take me and a room full of web developers and people from a bunch of different cultures to figure out. And frankly, I don't have access to that, and I don't have time for that. And so ChatGPT has a database of it. So that was really cool. And I'm continuing this, trying to figure out like how to make it not so, like what background knowledge, right? Oh gosh, I have to make sure these students can even like come to the table, right? Before I give them an assessment that I'm actually thinking that I have an impact on. So this was interesting. And then right here, this cultural awareness, that's something that's not in my class, and there's no lessons about that. So I need to make sure that I go back, and now I design cultural awareness lessons around web development